Hello, and welcome to Tales from the Sanctuary. My name is Patty Hedwood, and I'm sitting here with little Miss Daisy, and we are getting ready to embark on the first of its kind here at Best Friends. It's called Angels and Vicktory, and I'm sitting here with the lovely Anne Mejia, one of our co-founders.
Hi, everybody.
Of Best Friends, and Josh Nunez.
Hello.
Josh Nunez, the caretaker, the manager, the one who wraps Angel's Rest in all of his loving kindness. So Daisy and I think we're going to head on out, and we're going to leave this to you guys.
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you, Patty.
Bye, Daisy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This absolutely beautiful, majestic view that you're looking at right now is Angel Canyon, the home of Best Friends Animal Society, where we have built Best Friends Animal Sanctuary. We started in 1984, and shortly after we began, eventually the lives of the animals we were caring for reached their natural end. And we knew and felt we wanted to honor them and everything they had given to us in their lives. So we looked for a place. And right here, this beautiful garden, sheltered by this cliff, a sanctuary within the sanctuary where wildlife is abundant, is where we decided to place these beloved animals. And we named it Angel's Rest. The gate we're looking at right now was designed by co-founder and artist Anne Mejia. Yes, my husband. And it was created with loving attention by another animal lover, a friend in town, Bill Keys. And as we go through the gate into the courtyard, we can feel the serenity and the calm that permeates all of Angel's Rest. Paul Eckhoff, our co-founder, was also the architect of the original buildings, and his best friends were basset hounds. He saw them as humorous and dignified. He enjoyed so much creating this space and came up with the idea of doing wind chime trees. And now this whole area has these beautiful trees, each one a memorial of love. And right now there's a tiny little breeze, and sometimes there's quite a wind. And then all of those beautiful memories, words that are on the chimes are released into the wind like songs. Sometimes when we're doing a placement, which we call a tucking in, it'll be a very still day. But when we tuck them in, the chimes begin to sing. It's a magical thing that happens every time, right, Josh?
I have a personal witness of that, yes. Every time.
Every time. We call it tucking in because that's what we're doing. And when we do that, there's so much tenderness and love, whether it's an animal from the sanctuary, Josh, or someone's personal animal. The attention that you give to every placement is very personal, unique, and tender. And you give so much comfort to everyone who's attending the placement. I have so much gratitude to you for everything you do in that way.
Well, thank you, Anne. It's a pleasure of ours.
Right now, we're looking at the very first placements that we did at Angel's Rest, and this is Amra. 145 pounds of love and play, a red Malamute, who was the first dog to greet anyone coming to Dogtown. And one of the things he would do was sometimes sneak up behind somebody, staff, visitor, volunteer. You could be carrying food in your hands. You could be just walking along, talking with someone, and he'll go between your legs, lift you in the air, and there'd be peals of laughter. Emerald, we miss you so much. This wall, which was created by another friend in town, a mason named Dan Reif, the father of one of our staff here, was very beautifully done. Each rock he chose from the quarry himself. And these niches were created so that mementos, relics, photos of loved ones could be tucked away into these locations all around the wall as you meander to the edge of Angel's Rest.
We get so many compliments on.
Oh, it's so special to everybody.
Oh.
And Josh, I want to say something about you and your team. Being caretakers of Angel's Rest takes someone who is very in touch with the natural environment, with respect to the area you're working in, completely at ease with the passing of life, and able to be there, as I said, for people to comfort them through that pain of loss and grief. And I'm so grateful for you and your team for really fulfilling and embodying that role in a way that is absolutely perfect, Josh. You had a mentor, Dave Abrams, who managed before, and you worked under him. Can you share with everybody a little bit about Dave?
Well, Dave had worked here a number of years. I always call him Mr. Dave. Worked here a number of years before I came here into this department. And he had shown me so many different things. You know, he was a Native American, and as like myself. So you have that instant connection when you talk to him. At least I always felt like I did. A lot of other people did as well. But he loved Angel's Rest. He loved the Overlook as well. But he showed me so much about how we connected to Angel's Rest, either with the placement or even just working on the grounds. There is that connection there that you want to have it. It's not a typical clock in, clock out job. Your heart is in it. You have to have your heart in it in order to continue this work. And just knowing that, you know, he passed that on to me, and I have passed that on to our other caretakers that we do have. Byron, James, Carolyn, she is in our department as well. Kelly Morris, she's there as well. And we have continued that tradition for this whole time.
This is a beautiful tribute to the horses, shaped, as you can see, in a horseshoe shape. Each one of those little markers is the name of a horse that has passed away. And being such big beings, we needed a special place for them. So we have Angel's Pasture below in the lower canyon, where the horses and also the pigs, their fellow pasture animals, are placed. And Josh, there's a special way that you do that, so it's as sacred and special as any placement at Angel's Rest.
It is. You know, down in the pasture, like you said, we do place them physically. But we love to have that memorial up there in Angel's Rest with the horses and the little pigs, and gives a good representation of that.
Absolutely. And now we're sweeping towards this beautiful gazebo that you love so much.
Gazebo, that is Gazebo 2. The Gazebo 1 and 2 are both the same, I guess they call it kit. But I love the craftsmanship on these gazebos. They're very sturdy, but they're beautiful as you go into them. Like I said, the craftsmanship is just beautiful. And there's been at least 2 couples married in that gazebo right there, the one that we are looking.
That is so special.
It is.
Love that.
And another story about Gazebo 4 is that one of our volunteers, Gray, had actually worked on Gazebo 4 because it was kind of crumbling, falling apart. And he had a lot of experience working with wood, and he reestablished that gazebo and he saved it, basically.
That's amazing.
And it shows you how important the volunteers are to Angel's Rest, or to just Best Friends as a whole. We never would have been able to save it without them.
They do an awful lot to help. They do cleaning up and raking and trimming. We're so thankful to them.
Yes, that we are.
Many years ago, when I was managing Angel's Rest, a couple from San Francisco contacted me and asked if they could place their beautiful cat, Zipporah, here and bring a headstone. And I said, absolutely. So here is Zipporah's headstone. And after tucking her in, and stories were shared and tears were shed, they then placed stones on the headstone. And I asked them, is that a family tradition? And they said, no, that's a Jewish tradition. And that the feeling is stones like love last forever, whereas other things perish. So we shared that with people doing memorials, people visiting, people placing their animals here. So now as you walk through Angel's Rest, you will find that on every site there's a stone of love, and some of them are completely covered with beautiful stones. I see we're coming towards the statue of Benton the cat. We have a building at Cat World, the first building we ever built in the sanctuary, named after Benton because he's a hero. Many years ago, we got a call about a cat that was found badly injured and possibly just struggling to even live. We think he was hit by a car. And he was brought to the sanctuary immediately. Medical attention was given to all the many injuries. The one thing that remained with Benton was his bent front paw. So hence the name Benton. And he ruled Bentons House with grace, dignity, nobility until the day he passed. And we cherish that beautiful cat all the time when we talk about Bentons House.
So we have a beautiful view here, Anne, of the north side, Angel's Rest, leaving the garden to the north side, and a beautiful view of the wind chimes. We have over 2,500 wind chimes in the Rest from the north to the south, and we are now zooming in onto what we call a rainbow memorial. And that is basically based on the old poem based off the Rainbow Bridge, which a lot of people are familiar with.
Yes.
It is when your loved ones, they're going to their special spot when it is their time. And they're in a new body. They feel like they are running into the grass. They're running with their friends. They're useful again. And in our tradition, it's called walking on. When we walk on, we will again meet up with our little furry companions after it is all said and done. And that's where we'll meet up crossing the Rainbow Bridge. And so we have this beautiful view right here of a multiple layer rainbow memorial, which we still have and we still do in the south side. And each one has definitely a story to tell. You got some beautiful granite right there. We're talking about the memorial stones all right over there. And so it comes out really nice.
It's amazing when you walk through and read all the messages on everyone's site and on the wind chimes. The incredible amount of love and cherishing. I believe that Angel's Rest has a spirit that's so different from so many other places where people are placed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
This place has joy and so much peace within it.
It is definitely a one-of-a-kind place.
Angel's Nest, Josh.
That it is. Angel's Nest is right here in almost the center of the Rest as a whole. And that is where our little feathered friends are buried. You can see the entryway. We have ducks, geese, hawks, parrots right over here in this section. It is one of our slowest growing sections right there, especially in that front end. Parrots live for a very long time. And so all these years I've been here, I've only seen a few of them placed in there in myself. But our larger animals are to the right, and our ones and the smaller ones are right to the middle.
We're approaching the Katrina Memorial. I know all of you can remember Katrina. If you weren't alive at the time, you've heard about it since then. That in August 29, 2005, the banks of the river in New Orleans broke and the whole area was flooded. And lives were struggling, people and animals, And we were able to be down there right away and get involved, set up a sanctuary, start rescuing the animals out of the homes, some swimming in the waters, and bring them to our sanctuary. We're able to help them find their owners or find a new home through the many rescues that worked with us during that time. Hundreds of rescues from around the country stepped up, came down, volunteered, brought animals back to their communities. And now, so many of those people in those rescues are part of our nationwide network. From Katrina, we learned so much. We spent 9 months there. We were able to save 6,000 lives, all different kinds of lives, feathers, fur, scales, all kinds of creatures came in the door and went to new homes. We're very thankful to everyone who helped on that. Every single life, no matter how big or small, no matter how long they lived or the brief moment they had with us, are precious and forever in our hearts, forever tucked away in Angel's Rest, cared for and tended to every day. And Josh, I just want to thank you and your team for all the love and all the care that you give throughout every season of the year. It could be snowing, it could be the heat of summer, and you're there every day for them. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone watching for your love, your support, and everything you do to help us to save them all and to get them all into loving homes. Thank you, and God bless you.
May you walk with the wind on footsteps of starlight over green hills, where the angels of timeless time sing their sky-encircling songs of peace and radiant gladness. May you walk or hop or swim or fly along the rainbow bridge to reach the enchanted lands that lie beyond the foot-worn paths of earth below. May you play among the roses and the lilies, wildflowers that climb the sand dune by the shore of the translucent sea where the waves crash bravely among the tall granite rocks. May you greet your friends, your brothers and sisters, who you have always known. Now you are together once more. May you walk in our dreams. May we hear the sound, the tone of your voice nearby, in the dawn hours and in the bubbling of clear streams among the stones of light, when the juniper tree stands, nodding off in sleep, while the clouds sail by on rivers of moonlight. May you run through the deep forest, while the wild ones and the tame ones play with the dancing spirits in the mist. Now forever freed from the tangles of time and from the forlorn darkness of the shadow, free to fly on the sun-haloed wings of the wind with flocks of black-chinned hummingbirds who rest or nest among the sheltering leaves of the cottonwood tree, whose far-reaching branch bends over the shining grass, far greener than any here on earth. May your spirit fly in the nights and the days among the star-born worlds of joy until we meet again. May your wings soar in the music of the bells of sunrise. May all your times be happy. May your toes skip laughing through the puddles of the rains of spring. May your eyes sparkle like the petals in the morning dewdrop. May you hear the songs we never hear, all around in the sacred night, until the sunlight spills over the gentle towers of the mountains. May you walk with butterflies as your winged companions, along with all your friends of eternity. Thank you that our lives have been blessed with your presence, your grace, and your innocence, and for being with us now and always in the bright lands beyond time, along the journey where we go.